thing that's like has a cup on the top.
No, you
for,
don't
like,
put
the
soup in that.
No, yeah.
Well, not soup in that.
But like
It's
that's what
coffee.
But that's what you
No,
put
you
in your
put
pencil.
soup in it.
You can put soup in those.
That's a coffee
No,
thermos.
it is not.
Those
Well,
are
it's actually-
fantastic for camping
It's actually a
trips.
liquid nitrogen thermos, but
You can put freaking soup in
Yeah,
Those are
there.
great
I mean,
for
it is
Brendan.
fried you like so.
that's what people do when they go like camping or whatever.
I put soup in.
Yeah, Brendan.
I do
What do you
agree
mean,
though that
Brendan?
coffee. You know
It's
what?
for
I'm gonna
soup.
move this expensive
I
camera.
would rather drink some tasty soup than eat a multivitamin.
I didn't either.
You stand corrected.
This is gonna go everywhere, and I hope everyone's okay with that.
I mean,
YouTube stuff.
we'll be all right.
Remember when I said it was gonna go everywhere?
It's okay, it'll evaporate. Ooh, it got colder.
I wonder why.
Should be fun.
You know what?
That probably would have been smart. You look a little sunburned around the eyes.
I fished from 9 to 6:30 yesterday.
Dang.
I was on the water all day long.
Sun up to sundown.
Pretty close. I definitely feel my neck burnt a little bit. The tops of my hands yesterday were super burnt. They're not as bad today.
My
And no, I didn't wear sunscreen.
my parents and my little brother went to Florida this past week, and they all came back looking like freshly burnt crisp. It was really fun.
Butter needs so much more of that.
I was curious whether we can do that.
Oh, so it did. They fixed everything.
Yeah.
Good.
Just needed a reboot.
That is-
Great.
I need to.
Hey, Brendan.
Yeah.
Can you type in the password for the T drive?
It should be right there. At the bottom.
I thought that's been changed.
Oh.
Well.
All right. See, I was on
I
it.
guess I won't need to future endeavors.
Where is that plastic?
In my office underneath my seat.
Underneath seat.
Not my seat, my guest seat.
Okay.
I need a calibrated plan.
was your weekend, Hope?
You what? That was good. Went to volleyball.
You played volleyball? Or you played-
No, my daughter, please. They have practice on Wednesday nights and games on Sunday nights. So she did that, and we ate lunch yesterday at a place that I never get to eat at because they're always closed on Sundays, and they're in Collinsville, so I don't get there that often. But they had a Down syndrome fundraiser going on yesterday, so they were open for from 11 to 3. So we went and ate. So that was good. And I got to see the baby kittens. Kim's brother, his outside cat, she's young, she's less than a year old. She ended up pregnant. And so it wasn't like his cat, it just kind of showed up. And so he puts food and water out there for it. So he's kind of adopted it. But, and he would bring her in whenever it was like super cold outside and let her in the back bedroom with a litter box and food, you know. And she was fine, so she was really sweet. But she had kittens, 4 of them.
Mhm.
And there's a raccoon that kept getting on the porch, and raccoons will like snatch baby kittens and like tear them up, eat them. So he brought her and the 4 babies into the house, and they're in the back bedroom, you know. So I went over, Grace and I went over, and we got to love on the little baby kittens. They're 2 weeks old. They're so tiny. Their eyes just opened.
Is she a good mom?
She is. Like, she trusts me because she's used to me. So, like, whenever I went in there, I sat down and I was petting her, and she's just like, oh, okay, it's you. And she just walked off and across the room and started eating and just left me with her kittens. But when Kim came over, she's like standing over the top of her kittens, like, I don't think you know. You don't know what you're doing. Get away from my babies. So I called Partners for Pets, this place over by my house, like the next town over, that does like low cost spay and neuter, and they have their events like every like 2 weeks or so.
So when people go get they animals get shots, what shots are they getting?
When they get
When people say, "Do your dog got any papers?"
so papers means that they're like purebred. They're from like a breeder, so they can trace their lineage back, and they're like registered with like the AKC, like American Kennel Society or something. But shot wise, they're required to have a rabies shot. And then there's different vaccinations, kind of like you do with human babies. You know, they have to have their vaccinations, and they go like once a year, like December. And like there's kind of like an HIV that it's like a feline HIV. They'll give them a shot to protect against that. And there's another like parasite type disease that cats can get, like parvo or something, and like dogs, same kind of thing. There are certain ones that dogs get. But I know they all are supposed to get, like they won't, you can't take your cat or dog to the groomers, to most groomers, without at least having a rabies shot.
You gotta shut the paper for that.
Vet records or something, yeah.
This dog may not be that much.
Your dog what?
It may not be that much.
It depends. Like the place, the Partners for Pets, and they do like their vaccination clinics and they do the spay and neuter
Hello.
clinics, and they're like a good price. Like rabies, like $15. Some of the other shots are
What about 'em?
free. Some of them are like $10, $5, $15 is the most.
Where you used to go?
Well, some of them are going to be just the hardness, which means we did it.
I don't like Wilkie would have their event where they
Yeah,
do
it
like
should
the
have been.
vaccination event.
Is this what it is?
Wilkies are all over, but
I'll look into it.
yeah, just look it up.
Yeah, I ain't talking about that. Talking about
Because there's all different programs. Just type in like low cost. There's a place called Carroll House, and that's in St. Louis, I believe, and they do like low cost spay and neuter and vaccinations and everything. Are you trying to get spay and neuter?
No? No, you keep getting that.
Why? Why are you doing it?
Because we not cutting them off.
They don't cut them off. They just go in and like remove them from the inside. They don't cut the sac off. But it helps them with testicular cancer and their aggression, like their hormones start going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, clean up a little more. And then yesterday, you know what? I didn't think I did it. I just got it yesterday. Yesterday, after I washed them, it was mine. Now, no take back today. And you're well right about it. When we go to the park now, he goes to the park. I was wiping my car. I bought some stuff, so I'm wiping inside the car. He really got the fuck out. So somebody was running, walking on the outside, he on the street. Inside the gate. He's walking. So dog food. Gets the thing. All right, now. I would look. That's all it's going to say. I look at the thing. I'm sitting shred as fucking thing. You said you feel you not because you talking about it. Shredder's ankle was a big dog.
Careful though, especially if he doesn't have his shots yet. He hates somebody. They're gonna put his ass in.
No, he was out. That man was out, and then he won't. He allowed. He just allowed. He ain't got no action. Yeah.
He
All bark, no bite.
That's like my daughter's pit bull.
If you come to him, he's so little too.
I was just looking at like,
Yes, come on, you're so weak.
The Chihuahua we had, he would like bark and act like he was gonna kill you. Like he would do that like that, you know. But then when somebody would walk towards him or get close to him, he would take his ass out across the yard. He's like, "Don't touch me."
Now, we'll tell people don't pay him. I don't know if he might, snap something. Last night, when we got big, we was watching TV, he started growling. Initially, he was growling at me, he was mad. He looked up, he started growling. I said, I was doing my new day though. I kept doing my day, he growled again. I said, come on. We got up. I said, you come show me what you growling now. So I was like, let me close the window, because I'm downtown, so you probably can hear people, go ahead and close. So I'm like, you probably can hear people. You got back in there. Doing my new way on my vision. He got the ground again. But he had like, look at something like the wall, like 21. You know what I mean? So I'm playing real quick. He seen something. I'm gonna play.
I thought Josh a bit.
I pulled that Bible app so over quick. I read me 2 chapters.
Yeah, I'm just moving.
Man,
I'm not playing. He seen something, boy. That's what I'm saying. They go up my head. But,
Not mine.
I wish he could talk. But you know what? They say they talk. That, people think obviously and animals just know a little bit more than what we all psychologists. So this is what they say. The artists people want to do this. They got them on this board. And the board has over 300. I'm not thinking it has like 50 different things, 50 presidents, different concepts.
Oh, yeah.
Like 100. But then, so I have no idea why they have this. But they one of them said, who am I? I'm like, the bingo. You know, like idea. Who am I? I'm like, the bingo. And then the dog went to the mirror and looked at himself. Then he came back. Well, I'm sad. He said, that's scary. Like, what will make him go look at himself? What will make him go look at himself though? After asking, who am I? That's what's scary. Now, bingo, he just.
He's just an adorable baby.
No, I'm saying that bingo ain't no that.
Now, what if he did?
He's strategic, but he ain't comprehending my goal. Now, bingo did keep pushing the mirror. Because, you know, my mom was like, I got a big mirror, I got a big floor here. So I think he just thinks he's seen it without.
That's it. Yeah, my one cat, like when I was laying in bed, my headboard has like a mirror on it.
Yeah.
And when I'm laying in bed, like when he first noticed the mirror, he like attacked himself in the mirror, like if there's another cat there.
Oh, yeah, no. They would like you to be like,
You've only been hooked up for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
so they just need it. And go
6 hours.
nails.
I'm worried it's gonna overheat. I'm really, really
Or
close
you can put it in a burrito.
on what I'm allowed to do.
A burrito. So you can bite it. You put it do a cat burrito, you do a dog burrito.
So I'm just putting that together, which means my next project is the lubricants.
Unless you want to try to get the other one working.
We need to find the vials.
Correct.
I wouldn't know even where to begin to do it.
What needed? I would say tear the lab apart.
Yeah,
Where do they even
I think all tiny dogs.
I also don't know the answer to that.
Oh my god.
I never used it. There was only one person that ever used it.
What are you looking for?
I'm pretty sure.
The stuff with a cryo mill.
Oh, I looked around for the tubes forever. They're not in here. I think it's about an hour going through literally everything in this room.
So they're not in here.
You express what
does it even look like?
I know back in the day, Kim used to use the cryo mill. Maybe she knows what it's like.
We got a new one,
Uh,
but there was only one person that ever used it, and we can't find the stuff for it anymore.
The new one is really small. So I would imagine it has some kind of proprietary tube that is using that one work.
But I mean, I'm just saying, if you need to. No, it's just like much like that. You don't let this dog suffer. Joshua.
Oh, free access is gonna get here today.
I think it just got delivered. I think I got the notification.
Start that now, but I know that lubricants are kind of.
Yeah, I mean that's just as important. That's 6,000.
I
also think I just got an email about
Blind,
9
white dog, just like we do.
pieces for that I quit at grand.
Oh, okay. Is it a go?
You know,
I can
people
check the
go,
email. I just got it a picture.
Awesome. That makes me happy.
Our mat should be here today too.
You did.
From you
Did
on.
it say sweet?
Awesome.
It is. I thought it would say different though. We should already have it. I've never had this type of animal. Man, I only had buffalo
fire. I love it.
Colin, did you say you had more samples somewhere?
Yeah, I'm prepping them right now. So they're SHM, so they're currently in the incubator. They'll be out in like an hour. I can throw them on since it's already in progress.
The samples that are on there are finished.
Oh, that's already done? Oh, cool.
You want me to do the data?
No, I got it. I've got really nothing else to do other than data and then prepping samples. So
This weather is killing me. This weather. Like, it just goes back and forth. Like, it's nice one day, and then the next day it's freezing, and then it's raining, and then it's.
there's always spring here. Midwest just sucks for that kind of stuff. But honestly, I'll take this over natural disasters.
That's right.
The worst stuff we have around here is like tornadoes once in a blue moon, and those barely do anything. around
There's some islands in the Caribbean that do not get hurricanes. And it's not like stupid hot all the time.
here. They have malaria.
Yeah, but we got stupid diseases too.
I don't know. Malaria is like one of the things where if there's a country
You can vaccinate.
and it has mosquito, I know you can vaccinate, but like since there's different strains of malaria, it's not really as preventative as it is once you get it.
It's like the flu.
Yeah, but it's also one of the number one killers on the planet. I'd rather just not mess with it. But also, I like living here, so I want to worry about
I can't move anywhere until my youngest child is an adult. Unless his dad, their dad decides that he's cool with it.
it. Are you planning on moving anywhere away from here?
Oh, as soon as I can, I'm moving to the Caribbean.
You can move to where?
I haven't decided if I want to. I love Bahamas, but they have hurricanes. Puerto Rico is amazing, and the weather is always like really nice.
You can do it all this summer.
What?
You can do it all this summer.
Puerto Rico isn't that bad. It doesn't get stupid hot, and if it does get really hot, it's not humid. So you're not all sticky and gross, and it doesn't get really cold either.
See, I really like Florida weather, but I don't want to live there because of the hurricanes.
Yeah. Well, Puerto Rico is like Florida weather without the hurricanes
I also do.
and without the humidity.
I also do like living in the continental U.S. So I don't know if I'd ever live on an island.
Would you, or you probably
Partially.
never even pick it up.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to pick up Spanish.
And most people in Puerto Rico, they have 3 languages in Puerto Rico. English, everybody learns English. Spanish, and what was the other one? Palmero, or something, which is kind of like a mix between Spanish, English, and one of the languages they speak on the islands, like they're Dutch. It's Dutch. It's a mix between Dutch, Spanish, and English.
Look, there's so many countries on this planet that have Dutch mixed in their language just because of how much they colonized.
Yeah, that was
Like,
when we
Afrikaans.
went to, I think it was Carousel. Half of the island, or maybe it was St. Martin, half of the island is Dutch, and the other half is French. So they,
Is food packaging there just all in English? Or do they have like the labels with two languages on it?
it depends. Like if you go to the Dutch side, they have their local like Dutch beer and stuff. That'll be in Dutch, but then they also have it in English. But then if you go to the French side, they'll have certain things. Most things are in English though, but they'll have certain things that are in French.
I always find it really cool whenever you go to a new place and it's like a mostly English speaking area, but then you start to look at like the food packaging and stuff, and it's always printed in two languages, so you get an idea of like the languages that are stuff around there.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I went to Canada, I went all across Ontario in Quebec. We went to like 7 cities on like a little road trip, and the first place we went was a small suburb, and the label was printed in English and Arabic because it was a huge Muslim community there. And then the next town over, everything was English and French, and the next town over was again English and Arabic, and then just like over and over again.
That is so cool.
Yeah, my
And then everything here is English and Spanish.
one of my professors that I did graduate research with, and he is Canadian. And where he's from in Canada, he said they primarily spoke English, but it was like really close to. They spoke English at home, and the school he went to, they spoke English. But when he went to take his college exams, you have to do like your proficiency exams and whatever. When he went to do that, it was all in French.
Oh,
So because he's in the part of Canada where he's at, it's French Canadian. So he had to learn like French and English.
I know French Canadians tend to be pretty elitist about the French language.
He
Whenever I
hated
was,
it. But they spoke English at home, and the school he went to was primarily English. So
yeah, I have a friend that came here in middle school, and he came from Quebec, and he knew how to speak both French and English, and he had like kind of a French accent because of it, but as he grew up, he was more and more like, why the hell do I learn French? This is useless. And by now he can barely speak it because he just never used it ever again.
in this area, French is not. You don't ever hear anybody speak French. Every great once in a while, you'll hear somebody like if you're over like in St. Louis or something, you know, but like at the zoo or something. But
I've heard more Italian than French.
yeah, and
Um,
mostly it's Spanish.
I've heard just from like the people I hang out with. I have a few friends that speak fluent Russian. 2 Polish friends. At the school I go to, there's a lot of Bosnian immigrants. I don't even know what language they speak now. It sounds Russian to me, but I don't know if it is Russian. And then
Do you speak Czech?
I have no idea. Let's actually, let's look it up. I've never bothered to look this up before. I know Bosnia is in the Balkans. Different languages. Croatian and Serbian. So I guess the
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And then my girlfriend speaks Arabic. I can't speak German, but I can read and write German. I took German for 6 years, but never did any of the speaking tests. I'm actually, I have the seal of biliteracy in reading and writing, but never did any of the speaking. And when I went to Germany, I was able to navigate perfectly until I had to speak. Then it was just like a tangled mess of trying to remember how to speak.
So do you just, is it the enunciations
Or
It's because, well, at least for me, speaking a language obviously is a completely different part of your brain. You have to process the language a lot faster, and I'm able to visually recognize German and interpret it a lot faster than I'm able to listen to it or speak it. So, like, right now I'm trying to learn a new language. I'm trying to learn Arabic, and right now I already have the alphabet down, and I'm already able to read words, but trying to process that into vocalizations is really hard. I don't
Where's
know.
your girlfriend from?
So she's not from Middle East. She's the daughter of first generation Arab. So her dad is from Iraq, but her mom's from here. And,
That's awesome though that she can spit. They taught her.
Yeah.
Sometimes like people who immigrate, like they
Kind of just lose it.
they just don't teach it to their kids. So like, no, I want them to be in.
Yeah.
Do you need your
Oh my
life?
god, that's really cool.
She, I wouldn't say she's like fluent, but she knows a lot of phrases and she can listen to it and read and write it really well. But like I said before, she has difficulty like putting it into words in turn, like because it's just hard to process the language that quickly. And I feel like that's the last hump whenever you learn a language, because for me at least, I can study flashcards all day and memorize vocabulary and write and all that kind of stuff super easy, and I learn that stuff super fast. But then trying to vocalize it is way different.
Yeah, that's the way I am with Spanish. Like, when I'm trying to speak to somebody, I'm like, you have to slow down so that I can process the words that they're
Yeah.
saying. I'm like, you gotta slow it down a little bit.
That feels really good. What is that?
it's just paprika creamy chicken. I have an extra breast if you want it.
I just ate. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to learn Spanish for a bit. But the girl that I was learning Spanish from stopped being friends with me. So then I stopped learning Spanish. I have yet to master a language though, and I want to be able to do that one day. It's just like it's so much work.
Oh yeah.
Like with German, I think in total I've studied German for about 800 hours, and it's usually for most languages, in order to reach like a native fluency level, you're supposed to study it for over 1,500 hours. So I would still have to like sit down and refine my skills for a long time before I got there.
It's the vibration table.
It's really
I'm gonna zone the fuck out. I don't know.
Oh my god, I packed extra sauce.
Oh shit, yeah, you're. You need to myself.
Whatever told me there's an observation window in here.
Say what?
There's an observation window in this.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
What is it? All because I decided to pull a random thing out.
Definitely got the engineering mindset.
There's more than one.
Yes, it's true.
There's three.
here. Paige and Cardi. I'm Paige and feminine advice because my fiance does not understand. So, he plans on going to school for plumbing at Rankin, right? It's gonna take him 2 years because he's gonna do night classes. So he'll work during the day and go to school in the evening. But whatever it is, don't care. It ain't gonna be on me at home. But so we plan on starting after he's there. So I can be pregnant before the bonus because I'm gonna do my life. Baby to my phone. So, but starting to have kids at that point. So 9 months, ideally for 9 months. But he starts in the spring because it doesn't make sense to start in the summer because he has to leave for the army. You know, like their annual training.
Right.
And then in the fall, we have he's gonna be going excuse me, for a week in the honeymoon. So that's it wasn't in school and we make him fall off, especially with me being night class.
So how long after you're married until he's done with plumbing classes? Like a whole 2 years? Why not just wait until after the plumbing classes? Because he's not going to be there and you're still going to have a full-time job.
Very true. This is my thing. So it's either I go ahead and get it over with because I don't want to be down for 9 months. When I get older, look, I'm trying to drink wine and become fine. You know? So I'm trying to, but I didn't want to be one of those people that was like, I did not want to be those. That was like my biggest fear.
Right.
So now I think about it, and I swear about it, he does not understand. So the reason why I was saying wait was because I'm like, being first time mom, new mom, postpartum depression is a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I don't know if it'll be good for him to try to go to school and everything like that, and then I'm at home by myself.
I think you should totally go to school because that's going to advance your future more. But
That's what I'm saying too. See, he doesn't understand the woman side of it, but overall, but just because it's only 2 nights a week, but postpartum depression, and I'm already a very emotional person. I hope you choke on the check for me, like no, I'm on the baby. Sorry. But yeah, so, but at the same time, I know that my mom, once he done with his paternity leave, my mom says that she will take off of work and come fill in for him. So it's like it's not like I don't have support. And then my sister works from home. She's saying, "You gonna deal with 2 kids, all right? Say hello to your auntie." But so it's like I have support, and if I needed, my dad would take off for work. My dad has 2 days off of work, and as it means, like I'm pretty sure he has 3 today off, and then he randomly has Thursday off,
well, then
no reason.
you're also, so keep in mind, you got to keep this in mind, okay? You're asking someone who doesn't want kids.
Oh,
This is totally,
Losing it over.
this is totally a hope quest. But honestly, if I was in your shoes, and I wanted kids, I would.
I saw your face when you said it was.
So I would be happy. But if I wanted kids, I would wait until after he was done with the plumbing classes.
Wait until your man's out of school.
But he hasn't started school.
So wait until he's out of school.
2 years is not that long.
Look,
I mean,
It is on a woman's body.
okay, the most risk you're putting yourself at for
Yeah,
your
I remember.
children
I'm on the strong. Alright.
at 25.
Because you. Let me alone. Okay, he's only a year older than me. He's born
You guys are not that old.
Yeah, no, you're still young.
Okay, I know you're ancient compared to me, alright? But
Your pregnancy doesn't get higher risk.
it's like
You're-
35.
Yeah,
Is when it starts.
until you're like almost in your 20s.
We're just gonna skip over what college says.
He's a young.
I'm like a baby. You know what?
I mean, fair enough, you did go to work with some.
He calls me baby boy.
At least you can put the spider on. They put a
Was
spider
that
on
him? I
his
thought that was Josh.
No, that was
Oh, okay.
Not by any more from
Is his real name Adam?
yes.
That's fine. Just like Bob's real name is Steve.
On. But that's how you used to stuff. But then I heard everybody.
Yeah, he told me his name is Steve, and I kept calling him Steve, and everyone else was calling him Bob. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? That's stupid.
Somebody's lying to me.
My mom waited until she was in her 30s for kids, and look how great I turned out.
Then
My mom had one kid at
that looks so cool. I'm sorry, that just distracted me. My mom had kids at a very young age, and then my grandma had my mom at 15. So
Jeez.
yeah,
Family. So
it was
in your
Oh,
family,
so your
They
family's
busted
just
it
as young
wide
as mine.
huh?
Your family's just as young as mine.
Probably. Like my great grandma is still alive and kicking.
My great grandma is 78.
That sounds about right with my
like
great
her
grandma.
grandma's dead.
Yeah, that my family back in the day was just
Yeah, straight up. I come from a long line of people that can't keep it in their pants until after the 20s. So.
yeah. It sounds about right. So like our generation, like me and my cousins, like we're like the ones that didn't have it till at least we were in our 20s, and they're just like mind blowing. I'm like, that is fucking sad because I'm almost 30.
Part of me doesn't want to wait until I'm 30 for kids because I honestly wouldn't. I see the appeal in being 40 and your kids are already grown up, but at the same time, I also see the appeal of not having kids until you're in your 30s because then you don't have to worry about that shit and you'll just be rich as hell before you have kids.
I honestly would wait a little bit for the saving of the monies.
Oh, that's not the issue.
I'm waiting until I'm probably 26 minimum.
Oh, so you said this year? Come on, I'll be 26 this year.
It's also to each their own. It's not like you have to have kids at any given age.
As
It's
long as
whenever
you
you feel
do-
most comfortable.
No, I just want to done it over with. That's my big thing. I want it done and over with. Like, I want the 2, fucking 3 that he wants.
He wants 3 kids. Usually it's the woman that says I want 3
No.
kids, and the dude's like,
No.
fine, whatever.
I'm okay with 1. Solo dolo. But then I'm like, damn, they're gonna be a loner. They're like, okay, I'm gonna show you.
Take it.
So then I was like, okay, 2. Him? For all I know, I can basketball team. He might do that. I don't know. Then he could coach them all.
I want to have 3. That's not what I want.
3?
Wilfred and I both agreed on that.
God. I told him I don't care no matter what he had already. He had his kids. But once it's done, he paying for BB classes.
You see, 3 gives me the highest chance of not following the family curse of having all women for babies.
But if my first child, I'm telling you that right now, because I'll be working here. My first child is a girl. I'm being mad every day. Why? I don't want to be me. I'm terrible. I know who I am. I'm not dealing with another one of me. I can't.
For reference, I have 5 sisters and 2 brothers, so it's heavily weighted on the female side. I know that's technically not how it works.
Chocolate, my sister got a boy. I don't know. Bad. Watch my family.
I mean, so the gender is like
spray.
well, like the sex of the baby is determined by the dude. You
Yep.
can spin down the sperm and select what sex you get.
If we
Well,
don't,
yeah, you could
we should
do all kinds of artificial
Because I don't want a girl.
insemination, but that's also
Right, it's
expensive as
expensive
hell.
as hell.
In vitro is like tens of thousands of dollars.
Insane.
Right. Give it another 5 or 6 years, it'll be probably monumental.
I do not. I just don't want a girl, y'all. Yeah, I don't understand the type of person that I am outside of it. It is not my fault. That's the crazy. It's my family's fault. And it's his fault too. Because I didn't ask for you to give me everything that I wanted. I didn't ask for you to never just tell me no. And then when you do tell me no, it don't last for long.
Are you telling me you're spoiled?
No, I'm not spoiled. I'm just very loved. That's how I like to put it. Like it's the last.
That's a nice way to put it.
I know, right? It doesn't make me seem like one of those people. But I still work very hard for my own money. I'm not one of those.
I come from not a very strict background, but my parents have always taught me to not be a deadbeat asshole. So whenever I would do something even slightly stupid, I would get grounded for a long time. And my groundings wouldn't be like, oh, you can't do anything but sit in your room. It would be, no, you have to only read for like do something productive.
No,
Yeah.
it sounds awful.
The books part.
Those are two polar opposite
I
answers.
love reading, but I need like multiple versions of mental stimulus or else I'm gonna go insane.
Well, that
Me
taught
and
me,
Room losing it.
those periods of my life taught me really well to just be patient with life and not have
Oh, yeah,
constant
no.
overload.
Yeah, both of my parents are anxious, and my dad has OCD, so that's not.
Oh, mine too. He's not my biological, so I didn't get any genetic downsides, but he's a great. So I
Yeah,
got all
that's
the
why
positives.
if I ever have kids, heavy ed. On Colin's side, it'd probably have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and on my side, it'd just be anxious and sad.
Well, to be fair, the fact that you're redhead, you obviously have plenty of recessive genes going on. Which same as me. I'm a carrier for thyroid disorder, so hopefully
Oh,
I'll pass it
awesome.
down to my kids.
I love how we just talk about our father's side. It really makes me feel more welcome in the world. Because other people like, oh no, I'm perfect. I'm just like, I'm so like, what's up?
I think everybody's fucked up. People who don't admit that they're a little fucked up, so.
That's a good point.
They're probably the most fucked up out of everything.
I mean, if I'm being honest, outside of places that are comfortable, I do present myself as a very perfect person. Now, when I'm just with normal people, I'm an open book for the most part.
Why I've had a kid is just a hard topic. I mean, fur babies are real thing. Diapers, we can get a monkey.
Do not get a monkey.
Don't get a monkey.
That sounds horrible. You know how much work that would be?
A human being don't sound horrible.
I mean, at least a human being you have some kind of like attachment to.
I have attachment to all of my animals. I have my
With a
dog
monkey,
tattoos
it's
on me.
the exact same amount of work as a human, but they don't.
They never grow up.
Yeah.
That's so perfect.
No, I would
If
not
I
want to
could
take
have
a
a
pair of
puppy,
perpetual
that
ones.
never grows up.
I would want to like have a glass of wine with my kid after they grew up.
You have a glass of wine with a monkey, but I just don't know how that's gonna go.
Oh my god, I went to my parents this weekend and they're having a great time. My dad's about to retire because my mom was the breadwinner and we're just chill
How
now.
old's your dad?
Say what?
How old is your dad?
He's only in his like early 50s.
Oh, your parents are old.
Dude,
I guess not that
that's
old.
funny.
You're like, what, 24?
Say what?
You're like 24, right?
I'm 23.
23. Okay, so.
Why did you not think
Yeah, you kind of hesitate.
you got like Carly?
I forget.
No, I felt that.
Sometimes.
I felt that.
Just not keep track?
No.
That's fair.
I don't do it either.
See, I'm constantly reminded of my age.
That's because you're young.
Well, so I was the youngest person at my old job, so that's
Oh, yeah, no. Collins took that. It's about being the youngest.
Yes. Well, Brendan's younger than you, isn't he?
yes, actually, by 3 months.
Brendan's an overachiever.
Yes, it is.
I'm trying to take his job.
Stop.
Not from him. I'm going to wait until he promotes.
Yes.
No, I like Brendan a lot. He's actually, I say, my best manager that I've ever had.
Oh, 100%.
Even though technically he's not my manager in the system.
Really?
Technically, I'm the same level as him in the system right now.
Yeah,
They never
technically,
changed it. I'm under
it's
10.
managed by Tim.
Yeah.
What are you trying? That's your own fault. You know that's your own fault, right?
How was that my fault?
You jumped. I was just walking in.
No, that's not what I was talking about. Who changed my computer?
I don't know what you're
Why you walking away from me? Why? Let's talk about this.
What?
You was trying to have
the
me.
amazing puppy that I put as the background.
That's not what you put at first.
The puppy.
That's not what you put at first.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do know
You have no
the
proof.
history popped
You
up.
have no proof of that.
My search history.
You have no proof of that.
This job is a lot more entertaining than
But
it is.
you're lucky you have good friends in here. Because it
They're
wasn't going to
very
be a
much
cute puppy, I
appreciated.
tell you what. It was not going to be a cute puppy. It was a big picture of the spider. It was the whole screen. It was a white background too. So you saw all. It wasn't like blended
Why
in.
would you try to do that to me?
See, now I got a better idea. Now I want like a black background with like a almost black spider in the corner.
That's a good one.
And then it's just minimized, and then you won't see it. And then one day you'll just see it, and it'll scare the shit out of you. But really, it's just the background is kind of like blended in with the background a little bit.
Please, let's not.
No, one time I went to my friend's computer and
You gonna make me have a heart attack.
Did you have a heart attack with the puppy though? Was the puppy cute?
It scared me at first because I'm like, what? All I saw was the legs at first. I didn't even see the big gist of it all. So I'm like, he's playing games.
here's a really good
And
way
then I saw the puppy dog.
to prank people, alright? It was a program called Superimposer. I don't know if it's still around anymore, but I used to use it all the time. You can download it, and then you can assign any application you want to that program, and it'll pop it on top of anything that's on the screen, no matter what. And I put a picture of a hair on it.
Stop. I would have Oh, I would have lost my mind. I would have
I
lost
put
my
it on my teacher's computer in 8th grade, and she could not figure out the life of it. I think I couldn't figure it out. It was there for months.
That poor teacher.
Until she finally decided to just restart the computer.
I would have been there. That would have been my maybe the second third.
I don't know why that wasn't the first thing they did. Because I didn't, my teeny tiny 13-year-old brain did not think to put it on startup. So turning off the computer just defeated the whole plan. Now if I was to do it again, I'd put it on startup. No, I'm not going to use your phobia for laughs. Put a good ass password on it.
I'm literally gonna put a whole. I'm just gonna hope for the best.
You're gonna come in with a fingerprint either.
Like, I'm telling you, biometrics are finna be like through the roof on my computer at this point. Because I'm not. No, I don't trust anybody at this point. Nobody can trust it.
Trust nobody, not even yourself.
No, but it does. One time I do something stupid and then it just pops up. I'm like, oh.
Where did the phobia spiders come from?
I think it was because I mean, of course, I was a biology major. So with biology, looking at the different things, like they did close-up pictures. Like, I'm not terrified of butterflies, but I would never go inside the butterfly house ever because I know what they look like up close, and it terrifies
I
me.
do too, they look awesome. They
Their
look little-
wings are
they look
gorgeous.
like little aliens.
And so it's not like if I see them, I'm gonna pass out. I'm just like type thing. But then they was like showing flies, and I'm like, okay, a fly is kind of weird, but whatever. And then praying mantis, I love them. But then I saw a spider, and I'm like, first of all, they got 8 legs, they got all these motherfucking eyes. They put I don't know how many babies in one little thing.
Oh yeah.
And they
No.
hit.
Fuck
No.
spider babies. No. I think
No.
spiders are cool. Baby spiders? No.
Now don't get me okay, I will put it like this. I think they are very interesting, especially depending on like the different like types and stuff like that. But I could never. And I don't care if it's a spider this fucking I'm not doing it. I can't because I know what they look like up close and that's all that flashes in my head. And then if it's a shopping spider. Oh my god.
I feel like my fears are much simpler than yours. I used to have one fear and I got over it. I had a fear of heights. But very simple reason. I fell out of a tree when I was a kid. That's it.
It didn't bother me. It's literally just spiders. Literally. I used to be terrified of snakes until I went and got my license and they had a snake named Sunny, unicorn snake, sweet snake ever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, just special. And then he like one day and he just crawled on me and I was like, oh bro, we're just chilling. He like fell asleep with me and he was on my neck and so it was like, him, did you not squeeze him tightly? I was like, hey, you feel kind of good. I'm like, you got it. So that was my buddy and then that's how I got over my fear of snakes.
I hate it when my snake climbs on me because she has like sharp scales on the bottom of her body that she grips onto things with. And it's like really abrasive, so it'll irritate your skin if you let her crawl around on you too much. So I'll let her lick black rat snake. They're climbing snakes. They climb up there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it only makes sense if it is the case, but I don't know, maybe we was just talking about ball pythons one day. And I thought that you had a ball python. Yeah.
No, I got a black rat snake.
Okay.
She's about 8 feet long. She's big.
I want a snake, but my fiance is terrified of snakes. I like them. They're sweethearts.
They are a lot to take care of.
Oh, yeah.
I would say snakes are pretty low maintenance most of the time, but when it comes to cleaning day and that kind of stuff,
Or helping them share.
yeah, and sometimes they get shit stuck in their mouth. I had to pull a rat out of my snake's mouth one time because she couldn't finish swallowing it.
But maybe that's fine only because, like, that's what I used to do all the time at the vet hospital. So, you know, it was my little specialty, but
I
I keep
pull
telling
all
her, I'm
kinds of
like,
shit out of animals, so I mean, I'm right there with you at this point.
I literally told him, I was like, now there's certain things I can understand your fear with. I was like, but snakes really aren't that bad.
Snakes are scary if you fuck the wrong snakes.
Literally, I was like, but the snake, like ball pythons, corn snakes.
Any of the snakes that pretend to be copperheads but aren't copperheads are chill.
And I think he just has that overall fear of, like, you see movies like Anaconda and all these other crazy stuff, snakes on the plane, and they get the false narrative that each snake is out to kill you.
I mean, to be fair, having fears of animals that could potentially kill you is better than not having fears of animals that could potentially kill you.
Which is very true, but you can't
Because then you
generalize
end up like
each one.
Steve Irving, because you were not scared enough of the animal.
It was just curious.
Well, if I remember correctly, the stingray was a trained animal that accidentally stung him.
Yeah, it was on accident.
So it wasn't like a
Like
They
an
were
attack or
attack,
anything. Yeah, no. It was on accident, but still. He didn't deserve that.
I used to watch this show when I was a kid.
Man. Who's messaging me? I hope I say hello.
That's my timer for soluble heavy metals.
No. Yeah, no. Time of my life. Find out if I'm on the business. Oh.
She, because my mom said she was at a building, around that area.
Yeah, but he's
So
here.
you could hear, yeah. So, but he wasn't walking as much. I tried to use it up. I didn't realize the music was really loud. So I tried to use it up some. They just locked him from being able to hear any tweak and hit,
Yeah.
And then he used it on the pad too. He sure did. So he was crazy like that, though. So he just went for a walk. I rubbed him, gave him some snacks. I had to take him big on him. Then he kept watching me go to the door, but I knew he was there because I kept wasn't barking like he was, you know.
That's good though.
Good. So, you know, Raw wasn't confident today, but I'm a confident. We're gonna get this down this week. But he's not used to routine either.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. You can always do your own all you could. I'm just realizing today is almost it is almost April.
That's school shoot. He said Tennessee.
Did you order DoorDash?
Yeah.
If there's no time.
I thought you were asking for the money. Oh. Gotcha.